Cold air crept into Commander Xyl'tharn's 6 nostrils, his vision still blurry from the cryo sleep, all his appendages aching from the lack of movement. The loud beeping alarm and vibrant display of lights returned him to the present as he hastily rose from his pod toward the control panel. A voice rang out loud and clear through the cockpit of the little corvette supply ship he had escaped with. An escape that had been only moments ago from his perspective, as he was hailed by the spaceport of the Xal'argan homeworld. "Captain, Earthling 05XK, identify yourself, or we will open fire. There is no pilot registered under that name." He watched 2 scrambled interceptors spinning up their kinetic mass drivers. "This is Xyl'tharn, captain of the first Sol invasion wave, returning with urgent news for High Command." Moments passed that felt like an eternity, the spinning guns of the interceptors making him nervous. Then the voice finally responded. "Proceed to landing dock 5. Xyl'tharn did as he was told, the corvette being no match for the commander of a first-class battleship, gently landing in one of the many space hangars of the Citadel. Armed personnel quickly rushed to his ship as he slowly crawled down the ramp, their scanners sweeping the bay for hostiles. Everything moved quickly after that. He was rushed into a large conference chamber. Countless of his superiors, many of whom he knew, now sat elevated around him in some kind of hearing. A standard procedure he never liked. Only this time, the audience was much bigger and higher ranking than usual. An older Xal'argan finally broke the silence. "So, what news do you bring of Earth? Have the primitives been subdued? Your early return a sign of quick success?" the elder asked, a smug smile on his face. "No," Xyl'tharn replied dryly. "We have been repelled." The room erupted in chaos. Shouts of disbelief and outrage, an occurrence that had never happened to the Empire, overlords of so many primitive civilizations, now beat on his sensory organs like a hurricane. Xyl'tharn let out a loud hum, bringing the room back to some semblance of order. First wave. When humanity developed spaceflight and landed on their nearest moon, we knew they were ripe for subjugation. Their technological progress was satisfactory to serve us and sustain our outposts. We established observing posts, studied their television and radio broadcasts, analyzed how they exchanged information, and gathered facts about them and their history. By the time they had advanced to a global network, our xenologists gave the approval. A whole arsenal of audio, video, and imagery was produced and sent with the first wave to sow divide. We told them their moon landing was a hoax, that their governments lied to them, that their monuments of old were built by aliens. We seeded the concept of our biology in their literature and media, and it worked well for a time, almost too well, as we had to step in to prevent them from annihilating each other. We bided our time, cultivating a library of propaganda material that was outdated by the time the second wave arrived, as ideologies rapidly shifted and fractured. Second wave. The internet had been born. At first it was great for our cause, a platform to converse with the smartest minds on Earth, sharing endless pages of scientific content, easily steered and sabotaged to keep them stagnant. Then the internet opened up to more and more of Earth's population. More and more of us spent time conversing with anonymous humans in something they called forums and chat programs. We felt our grasp slipping away as the amount of gibberish from the masses overwhelmed us. We felt our energy drained with every single conversation gone awry. Third wave. This should have been our saving grace. The hardware of the Coordination Guild ship enabled us to create the solution to our previous problem. The generation of mass media. Their web had advanced. To speech, to images, even to videos. A simple visual input to affect millions, catered to their primitive desires. We took over again, this time from below, eroding their values, crashing their global economy not once but twice, conjuring up religious conflicts they had mostly done away with centuries ago. But we underestimated humanity. After we lured their minds with content that appealed to their primal desires, they got hooked. They poured endless funding into internet pages filled with content of their reproduction, ads that appealed to their greed, and quick content to keep them entertained. We sabotaged them every step of the way, but it was too late. We could not compete with the real content they generated themselves. We trained everyone to use image editing programs like Photoshop. We set up massive call centers in a place called India to leverage their emerging world language, all in an effort to influence the older generation of their declining world to vote for parties sympathetic to foreign powers. We even began infiltrating training programs for their youth, like Fortnite, where we tried to groom the next generation for our purpose. But we were not prepared for the hostile and vile nature of their young. If they didn't beat us, they got us banned and investigated by authorities. So we began saturating their emerging video and image platforms: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. We generated so much content, but failed to keep up. Our costly, laboriously generated media got less and less attention as criticism increased. They called it slop, made fun of it, created compilations of trash-tier images and shit takes, getting most of our accounts cancelled when they celebrated their second enlightenment, dividing between woke and non-woke. Then, it all went to shit. Fourth wave. The first human discovered the dangerous technology we had banned centuries ago: artificial intelligence. But they did not use it in a dangerous way, so we did not stop them. They used it to create pixel art, then images of their pets, like I said, harmless. Then, the singularity happened. A human researcher created deepfakes, and we lost our advantage. They began questioning our content that still streamed in 480p. Once they learned they could generate images with nudity of people, it was over for us. They began an arms race between image generation and recognition, a race we could not keep up with. All our communication slowly faded into talking with bots. Our images flagged as AI generated. Our videos mocked. They said we still couldn't buy a decent camera in 2025. We were too busy trying to keep up, to adjust to their new technologies and models, that we didn't notice their hidden agenda. We didn't react when they launched thousands of satellites into orbit broadcasting skibidi toilet into every home. Didn't question when they sent probes to make high-res images of Uranus. All our hope at this point hinged on the fourth wave, the final invasion force to take the planet by force. We saw them appear on the sensors. We cheered as they launched their missiles that hit us. Only then did we realize humanity's AI detection software had revealed us. They trained models to speak like us, to talk like us, to impersonate us, mocking reels, upscaled, memified versions of our own content blasted from our speakers. Our HUD spammed with horny ads. We watched, unable to react, as they sent videos to half the invasion fleet claiming we had been compromised, turned, overwritten, our protocols hijacked in the lingo of Earth. I boarded the little corvette just in time. My battleship broke apart behind me. The fleet turned on itself. I made my way into the cryopod, the same unholy song about a baby shark endlessly looping from my ship's comms, watching our glorious fleet turn to dust as I fell into sleep, the still resetting autopilot hopefully bringing me home. Xyl'tharn was still holding on to the feeling of home when every screen in the room began to go out. Then flicker. A giant black and orange string of characters began to appear. The humming sound, a sequence he recognized from the infamous sights of Earth. A hum, replicated from his earlier call for attention. The screens now played unsavory scenes of him and the other elders in unnatural positions. But he was looking at something else. The dark space around the citadel was lit in the same kind of explosions he had seen as he fled the Sol system. There was no escaping the brain rot.